Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Because Mom Said So. Are you guys so excited?
I am so excited.
Super excited.
How
Me
long
too.
has this been in the making?
What, like 2 years, you guys? We had the thought. It was almost 2 years ago.
It's so exciting. So we're just moms from Pittsburgh. I'm Melissa, and I'm just a mom of two amazing kids and husband and amazing dog. And we just thought it would be fun to get together and talk about mom stuff.
You usually have more than just 2 kids. You have like 1 million kids at your house all the time. I know. But anyway, okay. So that was Melissa. I am Jill. I am from Pittsburgh, lived in Pittsburgh my whole life. Spent a lot of time out here in California for several years. I have 3 children, 3 beautiful girls. I have a very nice, loving husband, and we've been married 27 years now.
Great.
And I'm happy to be here with my girls. Yeah. This is awesome.
This is great. This is the first time in forever that I think we've been together, which is really fun. And it's funny because Nia's like, is it going to be funny being together? I was like, well, it's ironic. It's like one of those relationships when you are away from each other so long, but when you get back together, it's just
it's like we never were apart.
No, it's so normal.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like this is normal for us. It's like it's you just run into the routine and it's just like
it's
I probably
comfortable.
your
haven't-
sisters.
I probably haven't seen you guys for what, 4 or 5 years.
I know.
As soon as we got together, it was like we were never apart. So.
Which
I
is
don't know if
really
that's
cool.
good or bad.
We're just comfortable with each other, and that's
Yeah,
how
it's comfortable.
friends are.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. I'm Holly, and I'm a wife, a mother, an educator. I have 3 great kids, boy, girl, boy. And it's an interesting time for my life because my kids are about to all be out of the house really soon. And I never thought that day would come. I know, boo-hoo for me. And I have,
You are secretly throwing parties in your bathroom.
I don't know. Because I'm pretty much in this. This is Kelly, and I'm a mom of 3, 2 girls and a boy. And I'm in the same situation as Holly. My youngest just went to college, and so it's sad. I don't know that I'm having a party. I think I'm sad.
Of course.
Really?
Me too. But we're those moms that actually want to be with our kids because I know a lot of moms don't, but I want them. I don't want them to leave.
Yeah, me either.
I feel the same way. It's so funny. We've all been home because of the pandemic, because of Corona. And I just dropped off my oldest for his senior year in college. And I was so sad. He's like, Mom, I have been with you every day for 6 months.
I saw you were crying.
I was. I'm like, no,
So
but I don't.
you were sad he was not.
He
He's
was
like,
not.
Get over yourself, Mom.
It's time to go.
Yes.
That was like extra time with this pandemic that we get to spend with our children. Like extra that we normally wouldn't.
It's a gift of time. And that's what I told him and all of my kids because we've traveled so much and I've been out. I haven't been home in Pittsburgh for a long extended period of time. I've never been home probably for the last several years.
You've
more
missed
than 2
so
months.
much of your boys.
I've missed so much. And so it was really nice to be at home. It's sad because William, my youngest, would come downstairs. He's like, oh, you're here.
Who are you?
Yeah, like I forgot you lived here. I'm like,
Poor
okay,
boy
I'm
that
like, shh,
made his own dinner, macaroni and cheese and pizza for years.
Oh,
for
that's
years.
Funny, Holly. Well, I'm sure they're so happy that you're home then.
They are happy.
And now they're
happy.
leaving you. You
And now
left
they're-
them and now they're leaving you. See, life is not fair, is it?
I mean, I love to be home with the girls because, I mean, they're busy, of course, working, but, we don't go out to dinner. We hardly order in anymore. I'm cooking, which I'm not a great cook.
I can't believe that.
I know. Kelly knows that I really stink at cooking.
I didn't even know your house had a kitchen.
I don't think the one in Pittsburgh did.
No, because we always order Chinese and pizza when the girls
Yeah.
and the kids would come over. Yeah.
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 I was definitely the cook.
Yeah. I clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would be good living
you
together.
guys are a good
I could
pair.
cook, she could clean.
Oh, we can go visit. They'll
We
cook and clean for us.
I'm a clean.
We will give you a job.
I love that. Should we talk about the pandemic? Like what we've been up to? I mean, how we're coping with our kids. Now, let me say, so I have 3 girls. Kendall's home with me right now. She's still in high school. My older 2 daughters are both graduated from college and out working. And Charlotte was working in, well, she had stayed from college. She was out in Arizona. So she stayed and was working, and she lost her job because of the pandemic. So the beauty is it brought her back to Pittsburgh. She came home, and I loved having her home. And Riley was working from home. She kept her job, but it was in Pittsburgh. So we're all home.
I know you love to have your girls home.
I love to have my
I know.
girls home.
I know. I love it.
And it's rare.
It is.
It's
That's true.
rare when your kids get a little bit older. We think we have a life. Well, geez,
Yeah.
they really have a life.
I don't see any of mine. Everybody's somewhere different in a different state. Like my
Yeah.
son is in Pittsburgh, Paige is at WVU, so she's at West Virginia, Brooke's in LA, and I'm in Naples.
And it took you so
So-
long, and there's no direct flights right now, so it's not even
it's
easy.
hard.
To see
And then
each
when
other.
we do see each other, it's not all of us together because somebody's doing something. So it might be me with two of the kids or me with one, but
Yeah,
never
when you-
together. We are finally getting together soon. That all four of us will be together. So that'll be
Yeah, but
nice.
it's a little
Looking forward
When
to
reunion.
and
that.
where? Take a picture because
I will. I will.
Do you know what's cute? Because Brooke comes over since she lives 2 miles from my house, and she goes, "I just want my mom here." She said, "I just want her to do my laundry and cook for me."
Yeah,
And
she doesn't want to see me. She wants me to cook and she wants me to do her laundry.
no, she wants to.
It's not how I love my mom and I miss her.
No, she tells me that all the time. She said, "I miss her so much."
But I think that's what they think of. Like, really, like, it's so funny that you say that because I did the same thing for Nia the last week. Well, this weekend, I've only been here since Saturday, and I spent the majority of my time doing her laundry,
Yeah.
cleaning her room because we just
Yeah.
dumped everything here. But I think that's what that comfort that mothers give. It's just
Yeah.
like just knowing that your mom is there, and that's what their love and the comfort is. It's just that you take care of them. You take care of everything. So
It's
you cook
so
and you
weird.
clean. It is weird.
Like I haven't taken care of mine for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's so hard. I don't know. It's like I kind of lost a piece of myself just because like they expected that of me, but I expect to do that for them. And now that I'm not around to do it, that's hard.
And you made the best school lunches. I would go to her house in the morning to have coffee in my jammies, and she would make her little lunches, and the way you did the turkey, and I was like, just slap it on the bread. But no, you did it really
Yeah,
pretty.
'cause
And
God forbid they would buy lunch. Give mom more work. Make me hack.
my kids never did that either.
You know what, ladies? Because of the pandemic, I feel like I'm home all the time, really just with my family. And one of the things I really miss is meeting and talking to other moms. And I found that the Peanut app really has helped kind of bridge that gap for me where I meet other moms and I get connected to them online.
Peanut provides a safe place for moms, expected moms, and those trying to conceive to build friendships, ask questions, and just find support. It's really awesome.
It introduces you to women who are nearby and like at a similar stage in your life. It provides community of women who are there to listen and share information and offer valuable advice.
Whether it's understanding IVF, adoption, pregnancy, first years of nursery, and beyond, Peanut is a place to connect with women like you.
Peanut is really awesome. So if you're trying to find a group of women that are going through the same things you are, it's really a great place to go, and it's a safe place.
It was nice for me when I moved to Florida because I didn't know anybody down here. So I could find people that were in the same stage of life that I was to talk to.
Download the app for free today. Head to peanut.app.link/mom-said-so or find it on your app store. That's peanut.app.link/mom-said-so.
Yeah.
But my husband left, Greg left LA the day after Mackenzie's birthday because, he's 62 and he's worried because we're in a hot spot here. So he wanted to go to Pennsylvania. So he's not planning on coming back. I mean, I haven't seen him in months, and I probably won't see him till the end of October.
oh, wow.
He's going to start doing Kenzie's school by Zoom because he's her school teacher.
and that's a whole other bird. We haven't talked about these
No.
poor kids.
But I'm like a single
time for
mom.
school.
Like I'm literally a single mom because Greg's away and I have to FaceTime him. I'm like, this broke. How do I fix it? How do I make a baked potato? I mean, seriously.
How do I make a baked potato?
I think you bake it.
I'm like, wait, do I fork it or
That
do
is
I?
so funny. That's like something my sister would say. She is a home economics teacher. That's what her degree is in. And she will call me and say, how long do I have to boil an egg for a hard-boiled egg? I'm like, are you kidding me? You went to college for that?
No, I call my sister all the time. I'm like, do I put the egg in first or boil the water?
But you know what's so funny to say that? Because I love baked potatoes, and I discovered in the supermarket they have these sweet potatoes that are microwavable, and they're toxic.
Yes.
7 minutes.
It's like, wow, it's like a miracle. I love that. It's like
I'm
such
gonna
a
look for those.
because they're easy. You don't have to poke holes, and then you can't fail at it. It's like,
Giant
that
Eagle
is-
has them.
So funny.
It's
Nice.
amazing to me. It was
Right.
like, and I make it for my family. I think I've done something miraculous. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so speaking of making things then for your family, you mentioned how long do you hard boil an egg? Have you guys heard of the Dash?
What dash?
Oh my God. It's this little bubble. You plug it in, you put your eggs in, and
Oh, yeah.
you press the button. I bought everybody one for Christmas last year. I
Oh, so
bought,
we're
like-
getting one.
Dash. You get a Dash. No, it's great. There's no guesswork. It's. I'll show you.
What kind of
Another time.
eggs?
I have one. Don't you have to poke a hole in the
You
bottom
poke
of the
a
egg?
little hole in the egg. You set them in. It's only about this big. To make you
It's
can
much
make
easier
hard
to
boiled,
just
soft boiled,
Put it in water. Jill.
poached eggs.
Oh.
You plug it in, and you push the button, and it you tell it, do you want hard boiled, soft boiled, what you want, and it cooks it perfectly.
Well, you know what's so funny? Because now it was
Swear.
like what we've been doing during Corona reminds me. My huge mom moment for me was well, I turned 50 this year, so that was a huge mom moment.
That's big.
But that really wasn't what I was going. But it just reminded me I was turned 50. So what did I get for a present from my husband? An air fryer. So
air fryer?
I got an air fryer.
You were going to say diamonds or something. For 50, you should at least be getting diamonds, not an air fryer.
So what is
Ollie.
it?
I love that, huh?
So I'm looking at it. It's gigantic.
What'd you fry?
What did you burn?
French fries. So I made French fries, and that has been like the best toy for my family since we've like
Oh, that's good.
EJ has enjoyed it. Everyone like, what can we fry next? What can we put in the air fryer next?
Oh,
We put
that's
pizza
funny.
in it, chicken, you name it. We put it in that air fryer, and we were all just having a blast. So
That's so
we
fun.
love, yeah.
Well, so Greg left instructions and he bought me a thermometer so he had taught me how to grill on the grill. And last week, Maddie doesn't eat meat. So I made her, oh my gosh, they smell so bad. These vegan burgers. I burnt it and there was no more. So I literally shaved it with a knife. And she's like, Mom, did you burn my burger? I'm like, oh no, this is normal. This is what Greg does. I lied to her and I just shaved the top of it because I burnt the only vegan burger we had in the
I
house.
was like seared, charbroiled.
I try so hard, but they just said, we really miss Greg's cooking. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. No,
It is what it
one
is.
thing I I'm not much of a cook because I don't enjoy it. And when I say that, my husband's like, yes, you are. You're a really good cook, which makes me feel good. He's, like I said, he's a good man.
You've trained him well.
You don't enjoy it because
But
you
I-
have to have a glass of wine while you're doing it. See,
I
that's
guess.
my,
That's-
like, I cook, and as I'm cooking, I have a glass of wine, and then it makes it way more enjoyable.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, being home,
Here's something. I have not been out to eat in Pittsburgh. So, and you know, that for me was like a pastime sport was going out to eat. That was my
Hello.
entertainment. I love going out to eat.
Yeah, we all do.
So that was really hard for me not being able to go out to eat. The first time I did was here.
I'm coming over to your house, Hall, for the air fried French fries.
Come on.
That's what I want.
So that was really fun. But it's interesting because I've cooked more than I have ever cooked
Me
in
too.
my entire life. And it's funny, the first few weeks, it was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then it went to lunch and dinner. And then it went to,
Brunch.
yeah.
No, I'm a short I'm literally.
And dinner. Brunch and dinner.
Yep.
Sometimes I make steak, chicken, vegan, and then macaroni and cheese. I mean, like I make 3 or 4
Do
different
you?
meals. Yes.
For one meal?
Yes, because everybody wants something different. And I'm like,
you're
what?
you're one of those.
Oh,
good
yeah. I'm like,
moms.
this is
Nah,
what
I
I
don't do
made.
that.
Eat it or don't eat. Too
Yeah,
bad.
I cook to order.
You cook to order?
I want my kids not to leave.
I don't think they're going to leave because you didn't make chicken.
will keep them.
Well, that's Kenzie. I don't think, she doesn't
No,
care.
I make I give my family 2 choices when I cook dinner. Take it or leave it.
Yeah,
I like that.
So you cook for yourself then? You're cooking for one,
Yes, but
really?
I don't cook that much anymore because I'm by myself. It's not
That's
fun
that
to
would
cook
surprise
for
me.
yourself.
I don't
It's
even
hard,
like to
I
cook
think.
what
Yeah.
eat what I cook.
Yeah. And then you have leftovers, and I don't do leftovers.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I love cold leftovers.
Ugh.
But your food is so good. I remember when you made me something when I had surgery and you brought over a meal and my family was like, oh, this is great. I'm like, well, I didn't make it. That was Kelly.
It's no fun to cook for one.
Randy was a good cook too. He used to take Kenzie from the studio when she was little,
Yeah.
and she would sit on your island and he would cook for her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
He was so sweet.
So do you go out to eat?
I eat out a lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you take out or you just go out?
I go out.
Oh, you're adventurous.
But we're allowed out in Florida, so just to get out of the house, really.
Yeah.
You know. And I love to try new restaurants, so I just have been trying places that I wouldn't normally go. You know, I'll drive a little further because there's nothing else going on.
What have you discovered that you really liked since during this time period? Like, is there like a type of food that you really discovered? Like, oh, I never tried that before. Because now you're being adventurous. Is there something that surprised you that you liked?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I eat anything, Holly. Nothing surprises me.
You taught me how to eat meat.
Yeah.
I didn't eat meat, and I ate ribs.
But
and
you would
chicken
eat a
and
hot dog.
No, I never ate hot dog.
Who was it that wouldn't eat meat but they would eat a hot dog?
Not me. That's like weird. Usually it's the other way around.
But it's because a hot dog ain't really meat.
No.
No. But no, I had never had ribs or chicken on a bone until I met you.
Yeah.
Now you love it. You love your meat.
Fan
question.
Speaking of the pandemic, I'd love to share a fan question. Oh my gosh, I love her. This is Ziegler and Orlando's. She's so cute on Twitter. How has Corona and quarantine impacted you all as individuals? Has it brought you closer to your family?
Yeah. What's funny is there are so many layers of the pandemic. You know, you think, oh, just shut down and stay in for a week or two. And it has just, evolved and evolved. But for me, of course, it brought me closer to my family. My poor husband can't go to work. He's working, but he's working out of the house. And my Charlotte came home from Arizona, and Kendall can't go to school. So yeah, it's brought us closer. We play a lot of bananagrams. I spend a lot of time reading the dictionary. Is that a word? That's not a word. Is that a word?
That's what we do. We play a lot of games. I bought soccer balls. I bought tennis balls. I mean, I bought all these games because we have a nice yard to play games outside. And we play basketball a lot, and I love when the girls say, play horse with me, Mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm such a bad basketball player. But my kids actually want to be with me, which is nice. They don't shut the door all the time because I think they get bored. But
Yeah.
I think it's definitely brought us closer together. And Maddie's going to be 18 soon, and she wants to move out, so it happened at a good time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No, I'm
you know,
the total opposite. It's separated me from mine.
Oh.
Because we're, like I said, we're all in different states. So with the coronavirus, I can't travel to see them. They can't travel to see me. So I'm kind of alienated from everybody. You know what I mean? So for me, it didn't make me closer. It's kind of made me by myself and lonely.
You're a little bit more
I know.
isolated.
Terrible.
I have like a hybrid of that. I think for me, it's two things because my immediate family, like my husband, and my kids, it definitely brought us closer and being able to enjoy time that we normally do not spend together because I'm usually out here in LA, but we were all kind of forced to be together, which is great. And then I found individual things to do with each kid because I always did stuff with Mia because I was around her so much.
right.
Holly, are you a teacher?
Well, it's
You're
fun.
an educator.
I'm an educator.
So
but
what'd you do with your kids?
But
I
it's
didn't mean to
funny.
interrupt.
No. But it's funny that you say that because usually I'm glad you did because I'm usually driving it like, oh, we're going to do this thing or that. I just let them show me what they wanted to do with me. So with William, it's like it was working out. So he has this whole workout regimen. So it's really just being with, I'm like, I can't do what your workout is, William. I just can't. So I'm on the bike. So we're like for an hour a day. He's doing his workout routine. I'm on the bike and we watch anime. So that has been something that he's
Oh, that's
introduced to me.
cute.
So we share that kind of anime experience every day in different episodes and different types of shows. So it's been really good and it's been a really good bonding experience. And for EJ, it's been just watching different series on Netflix.
Yeah.
So we'll
we did
watch
a lot of binging.
So a lot of
I
that.
think I've seen everything on Netflix, Hulu, you name it. I've seen I'm out of things. Right? I need people to send me questions or send me things about what to watch because I am
You and I like the
totally-
same stuff too.
I've watched it all.
It's interesting because there are things that I never watched it that much, but I've been introduced to things I never thought, like the whole Michael Jordan special.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things I'd never thought I would ever watch before in my life, and I've been watching because my
Because
kids
there's
into
nothing else to do.
Well, that too. That's part of it because I'm bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
But also the other aspect is my parents were in New York and they're total lockdown with my sister. And you talked about being isolated because I was going home once a month back to New York 'cause I'm from New York City, and because my dad's not doing so well, and I can't do that now.
It's
And
so
that's
hard to be by
hard.
yourself. Like I can see why people are like so depressed because
Mhm.
I mean I literally sit there all day, and all
I
night
FaceTime
by
you.
myself and
Uh-huh.
have nothing to do but eat,
I know.
drink, and watch TV.
Do you FaceTime your girls?
Sometimes, but they're busy. You know, like
Mhm.
Brooke's working, and then with the time difference, by the time she's done with work and can talk, it's like time
You're
for me to
sleeping.
go to bed. And,
Mhm.
you know, so it's hard. But I can see why this whole thing, there's so much depression and stuff going
And
on.
our kids
good
are a little
point.
bit older, you know, high school
Yeah.
and college. Think of the poor little ones.
Oh,
You know, elementary kids who don't really understand
Mhm.
what's
Yeah.
going on and when will it be normal and maybe never.
I don't think, and I don't think you have to be little to
mean,
not understand. I don't understand what's going on. I just think
No.
this whole thing is crazy. Like I
Mhm.
never thought I would ever have to like wear a mask everywhere you go, or it's crazy.
Mhm.
Hey, moms, we've been cooking a lot nowadays, and I have to tell you, that's one of the reasons why I like HelloFresh.
Well, I love HelloFresh because I can't cook. So this is so easy for me because it tells you exactly what to do and it has everything that you need. You have to buy nothing else except what's in the package.
I find I'm making so many meals now that we're home all of the time, and my kids are home doing remote learning. So I have to, also factor in lunch, and so I can have lunch and dinner already made. It's quick, especially for my high schooler who only has maybe a half an hour for lunch. It is so easy for me to make the meal. One meal I was able to make in about less than 30 minutes, and he had it, and it was fresh and it was hot, and he was satisfied, and it was great for me. I felt like I had really accomplished something.
Did he say this is better than crock pot chicken, Mom?
Actually, it's so funny because it was beef bulgogi, which is a Korean dish. The only time I've ever had it before was when we were in South Korea, and I'm not sure if he's going to like it or not. So it forced him to be adventurous, and he went back for seconds. He loved it. And my husband came out and he had some, and it was really good. It was so satisfying. He loved it.
The good thing about HelloFresh, Holly, is they deliver it to you. You don't have to go all the way to Korea to get it. they deliver right to your doorstep. That's what I like.
Which makes it very practical, because one of the things I hate to do is go to the grocery store. It's one of my, I hate that job. That's not fun for me. So having it delivered to my doorstep, I agree, Kelly. That was probably one of the best parts of HelloFresh. All I had to do was open the box.
HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients so that you're not overbuying, which is a burden on the planet and your wallet.
That is so true. I throw out so many vegetables and things that just rot in my fridge because I don't use them. So it's really nice. It makes me sad because it's such a waste. It's an absolute waste. And I always kind of misjudge, like, how many carrots do I need? And I buy a bag of carrots.
And you need
I
one.
do not need a
Yeah,
bag
you
of
only
carrots.
use one.
Exactly.
And for me, Kelly, you know, I'm not the cook. I mean, it was so nice. The only thing I had to do was chop the vegetables or anything up, which was so easy for me because I could do that.
And you're right, because the recipes were super easy to follow. I mean, there were pictures. I mean, there were like a couple steps for each one, nothing major, all the ingredients. And it was funny because the kids were asking me, like, what kind of sauce I used. I'm like, whatever HelloFresh packed in there, that's what I used. So one of the things I really liked about HelloFresh was the variety that they offered. Like, there's really something for everyone. When you go on to select the types of meal plan you want, you can have something that's kid-friendly, if you're vegetarian, low calorie. It was so simple. There's such a variety, and the recipes are all so different.
And Maddie's a pescatarian, so the vegetarian meals are really, really nice. And actually, Kenzie even likes them.
HelloFresh donated over 2.5 million meals to charity in 2019. And this year, they're stepping up food donations to local communities amid the coronavirus crisis. Isn't that cool? That's really like the whole idea that they're giving back. I didn't know they did that. That's impressive.
Go to HelloFresh.com/mom80 and use code MOM80 to get a total of $80 off across 5 boxes, including free shipping on your first box. That's HelloFresh.com/mom80.
Part of what we did during quarantine, which was really interesting for me, was this whole, even though my children are at different ages of the spectrum, I still have one in high school and I have 2 in college now, but preparing them for school. So preparing them for 2020 is very different this year than it was in previous years. And as an educator, one of the things I love to do, like I love school. Like I am like an eternal
your
school.
eyes just lit up when you said that.
And then there's me. I hate school.
I love
I
school.
never even took a pencil to school.
She had a nail
my
file.
nail file.
She had her nail file.
And you see, that's funny because I love back to school shopping.
I like the back to school shopping.
I get
but
excited
that's
about
the
that.
only thing.
And you like this year, there was like nothing about back to school shopping. There was nothing about buying and getting your material because you're home. Also, for a lot of people, you're home or you have the hybrid programs. And love to hear your take on all of that too, ladies. But for me, it was a very different start to the back to school year for me. And I'm just thinking as a teacher, how hard it must be to prepare for school because you're doing so much of it remotely and online and for students, and there's so many things to talk about just for school.
I feel bad for the teachers.
Yeah, teachers
Like
have
it has to
hard.
be like a totally different job. Even like usually you go and you stand in front of the classroom and interact and teach. I think it's going to be so different.
My friend, who you all know, she's going back to teaching in Greensburg, and they're open as of now. And she said that, she's doing elementary. I don't know if they've changed recently, but she has to make sure they wash their hands 6 times a day. How are you going to get a little kid to wash their hands 6 times a day and
How are you
properly?
going to get a little kid to wear a mask?
Well, let me just
Can't even get Kelly to wear a mask.
Can you imagine a little kid being in school for 8 hours having to have that mask on? Like I feel
agree.
bad.
Like, how do you stay
be
focused? Because I
hard.
can already predict in school, you can have the kid tugging on their ears, playing with the mask up and down,
and down.
which is going to be distracting not only for
Exactly.
you as a teacher, but for the kid. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of learning is really taking place? Too?
Yeah.
And Jill, you said you get an email every few days with changes. Oh, the school, we're doing
Yeah.
this, we're doing that.
Yeah, we still don't really know.
When is school supposed to start?
In like the 27th.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure
next
that
week.
They don't want us to date
No,
it,
but I'm just saying, like soon, like I'm like in the next week or so.
School will start within the week.
And they're still making changes.
And yep. They're still not sure.
I think that's how the world's going to be
They're
though now.
waiting to
Everything is
see.
just wait and see. Just like us coming
Here,
to
yeah.
LA, it was like, well, we won't really know if we're going to be together until the day before because God only knows what's going to happen.
That's true. It's taught us nothing else to be flexible. Like you have
Yeah.
to be
Right.
flexible as
Yeah.
much as you want to plan
Yeah.
so far in advance. You have to be adaptable, and it's teaching your kids to be resilient and adaptable as well. But it's kind of frustrating because it's difficult. It's
Yeah.
difficult, and it's so emotional too at the same time. And today's EJ's, I remembered. I was like, oh, today's his first day of school, and I'm like, it's his senior year. I'm like, take a picture of your first day of school. And he's probably like, really?
Mom.
But I'm like, those are things I look forward to every year, is like
Yeah,
taking that
yeah,
picture or
sure.
seeing you in your first day of school. And now, I mean, he's gonna take a picture in his apartment in front of a
probably-
computer screen. It could be any
He's probably
day.
still in his pajamas.
Yeah,
First day of school outfit.
Kenzie's going to take, start school with Greg, and they're going to Zoom. He actually has it all set up downstairs because he Zoomed me the other day to make sure that it looked good. And, he's going to have his whiteboard and teaching Kenzie, from
But
across the
they've
country.
been doing that. Well, I guess Greg was here.
Greg was here.
But I think that's what a lot of kids are going to have to do. is-
I
is
feel bad for the
Zoom
college
and-
kids, like Paige.
Yeah.
She's at school, but it's all online. So I think they're really missing out on the whole college experience.
for sure.
I mean, not that you go to school to have fun and go to parties and do whatever. It's just the whole thing. Like, you can't even go to the cafeteria and eat lunch with your friends. So I feel bad for that, for all the college kids.
I agree. Nia had to do new student orientation for UCLA online, and she was upstairs, and she's been homeschooled, cyber schooled for the last for high school. So she's kind of used to doing a virtual experience, but doing it virtually for college is very different than doing it in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
And there was all this
That's
lingo
the
she
whole
had
experience of college.
It was very isolating.
Nobody's getting any of that.
No.
You know?
and then I'm doing clubs, and that's what she was so excited about.
Yeah.
I'm going to school finally with other people, and then she's like, "Oh, great, I'm stuck here with you." It's just kind of anticlimactic. You really are hoping that you're going to have a big college experience and pep rallies, football games,
God,
clubs, and
so
a roommate,
sad.
and decorating your dorm room.
Yep.
And it's like you're not doing all those things you dreamed of, and you worked so hard for it. To get to college is a
Exactly.
big deal, and to not be able to do that is
Yeah.
kind of disappointing
Yeah.
for a first. Like, okay, wait another year, maybe it'll be different next year. And then EJ's a senior,
Yeah.
so I feel bad for him as his senior year, which he looks so forward to doing certain things with his frat and moving
Yeah.
off campus.
Oh,
And
they probably can't even live in a frat house, I would
No.
imagine. I mean, oh my goodness, that would be disastrous. What is Nia going to stay in Pittsburgh most of the time when she does online, or is she going to come back and forth?
we said for the first 3 weeks, we want to make sure that she's acclimated to course studies and everything like that. But she has her apartment here, so she probably will come back here.
Oh, okay.
And she has her car and everything like that. So just for the first 3 weeks, we just want to make sure she's settled and she has everything underway, and then off you go.
That's Paige. I thought maybe she would have stayed home. She's like, nope, I'm out of here. I got an apartment.
Same.
I don't care if I can't go to class or not. I'm going, and I'm going to enjoy my apartment by myself.
Same.
That's good. I don't know. It's funny we're saying how sad we are for the kids. I wonder how they would answer that question. Like, are you
I've
sad?
asked
you
Paige.
can't-
I've asked Paige. Like I
What's she
said,
say?
like I feel bad that you're not getting like the true college experience, and she agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely, because she saw how Brooks' college experience was.
Oh my gosh, it's
you
so much
know?
fun.
Yeah, and I think she sees that it's just not the same.
I think I know it's like, I love when we get together and we eat. I mean, I know that's funny, but we like to
we're
eat
back on
together.
food again.
but that's like the kids going in the cafeteria.
Yeah, it's just
That's
totally-
like the fun. I mean,
Yeah.
the partying, of course, is fun, but it's so nice to be able to meet for all your meals and be with a big group of friends, and
Well, and meeting new people.
Mhm.
Like in
Yeah, that's how you
college
meet
is
people.
where you
That-
meet people in class and parties
that
and
was the one thing Paige did say when I
events
asked her
and sports.
was because she lives in an apartment this year, where last year she was in a dorm.
Mhm.
And I said, "Do you like your apartment?" And she said, "I actually wish I was still in a dorm because we can't go anywhere, but at least in the dorm I could walk down the hall and see a friend, where in my apartment
Just your
there's
roommates.
nobody." Yeah, so at least if she was in a dorm, she would be able to go do things. But that was what that
that's
was her
interesting.
comment was.
And it's interesting. That's what Nia said for her. What she what she feels like she's going to miss out on was meeting new people.
Yeah.
More than anything else. She's like, I'm going to learn. I'm going to do my classes. She's like, that I'm not worried about. But one of the things she was really excited about was she's going to go to this big university,
Yeah.
and she's finally going to be in school with other people.
Yeah.
She's like, I got to meet my future husband or something like that too.
Well,
I
yeah.
meet her for years.
And you know what? Other people and teachers. You know, when we were traveling a lot, we had one tutor or online courses. And then when Kendall went back into public high school, she fell in love with the teachers.
Oh yeah, of
that's
course.
You know,
Right.
everybody brings a flair of something, and you forget that they need that. Like,
Oh yeah, teacher
Yeah.
can impact
I mean,
your whole life. I
that's right.
still love
I
some of my
remember
teachers.
teachers from
Me
high
too.
school that
Yes.
really, and college too, that left an impact on me. And
Yeah.
when kids are just learning from, hybrid or on a computer, they don't have that interaction.
I agree with that, because I think back, like I bet we could all talk about a teacher that impacted our lives. And I would always
That's
say
so important.
that power of a teacher. A teacher is so powerful, what they can and can't do for you as far as uplifting you or making you feel awful. But when you have a really great teacher, it can really change your life. And I hope Nia, I was joking about the boyfriend part, but really finds a teacher that she really enjoys learning from, that she
Yeah.
gets to interact with. Because for me in college, one of my favorite teachers was Sandy Burton, and she was the chair of the dance program at Williams College.
Oh, I love
And I didn't have her till much later in my college experience, but that woman changed my life, because and to think it's dance. So often people don't put a lot of stock into performing arts, but she had her eye on me for years. She's like, I had always wanted you to take a dance class because I would see you walk on campus and you're so tall, but you didn't.
Holly, I love that story.
And she talked about me not holding myself up high, like my posture. She's like, you need to walk with, power, elegance, grace. And she's like, I want you to my dance class so you could own that. She's like, you have a beautiful frame and you're tall, but I see you like kind of slouching. And she's like, I really wanted to bring that out.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
So something so powerful like that. And that's
great
what
story.
kind of pushed me for Nia for having danced. It was like the power of a teacher, like something so simple of someone seeing you, like really seeing you and wanting the best for you and bringing that out.
Well, that's what a good teacher does.
That's what a good teacher does.
Brings out the best in kids. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so for me, I want her to have, whether it doesn't have to be dance, but I mean, it could be anything, but someone who sees something in you and wants the best for you and brings it out. And to have that experience, I think it's kind of hard to do that online and remotely. You can,
Absolutely.
but I
My
think it's
elementary
challenging.
school teacher, my gym teacher, Mrs. Sember, who I loved, she used to wear kilts and she was just so cute. I wanted to be a gym teacher because of her, but I still think of her, and I'm 52. And I wore that little skirt yesterday and I thought, oh, I look like Mrs. Sember today. And that's not funny, but I loved her. She had the little Dorothy Hamill cut, but she was always so positive because back then, I mean, girls and sports, it was different than it is now. And she loved a girl that was sporty, and I love sports. So she made me enjoy sports.
Well, and that's
That's
such a huge
good.
part of going back to school too.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
for
all
these
this-
high schoolers who are trying to get a scholarship into college and they can't play their sport. And then, of course, the collegiate athletes. I mean, it's
That's why I think I was asking Holly, I said, how's it affecting? We were at this big, huge high school the other day for a shoot for Kenzie, and the football field was amazing. And the security said, oh, the kids probably won't go back this year at all. I said, oh my gosh, what are the
That's
seniors going to
sad
do for
everybody.
football?
You work all
their
you
whole
know,
little
through school,
careers.
yeah.
That, they aspire
to get to the point of doing it at high school or college, and now you can't even play.
From what I understand, for the college level students, they are taking a fifth year and they're coming back. So EJ even thought about taking a fifth
Oh,
year,
that's good.
not for sports, even he was Division One, but because he just wanted that true college experience. And then his internship's like, no, we really want you to finish because we would like you to hire you when you
To
graduate.
start get a real job.
Get a real
Come
job.
to real life.
Right.
Become a
Join-
grown-up.
Right, exactly. So join us in adulthood. So he's doing his full senior year. But exactly, I think a lot of schools are giving people, the athletes, an extra, the gift of time that you can come back for a fifth year because they are missing out. And that's, I mean, if you worked so hard and invested so much time and energy and
And
want
Jill
that.
said, Kendall is doing early admissions, which is great, but she doesn't have an SAT scores.
But kids are resilient. I'm impressed with how everybody is handling the pandemic and the changes.
I would agree because this year was Nia's senior year. And so we were really excited that she was going
know.
on the prom and she had
Oh,
graduation.
God, I
And it was like, year 2020, this is so amazing. And then she came back to Pittsburgh really just for the last couple of months because she really wanted the senior year experience. And then that went away. And we thought, you talk about resilience. I was like, oh, you missed out on your prom. She's like, I'm fine. I went to a prom before. It's
Yeah,
fine. It's
that's
good.
good.
And graduation, she missed out on graduation. Like, you didn't go to graduation. She's like, it's okay. She's like, I graduated, I have my diploma. She's like, I
Yeah.
didn't have to sit through a long, boring speech.
Yeah, 'cause that's the worst part.
Good.
She said, I took my pictures and my cap and gown. I'm
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah.
kids are
They
resilient.
are resilient.
They
Thank
see
goodness.
they see like the value. I think sometimes for adults we get so caught up with what we know and our traditions and what we think are so important, and they are able to distill them, like they can figure out like really what's important for them.
Yeah.
Right, Maddie's shooting a movie right now, and I can't even be with her because there's only a certain amount of people that can be there. I went on her first day, and they didn't have enough COVID tests for me, so I couldn't go there. I couldn't go on set, but she wanted me there, so I went in a parking lot. I went and got some fruit. I went in another parking lot. I just kept driving around the area, so I was there. And she kept FaceTiming me, which was really nice. And she's like, "Mom, look at what I'm wearing. This is what I'm wearing." I mean, it's hard for me as a mom because I love to be with my kids on set. But she's old enough that she doesn't need me anymore. But I love the fact that she wanted me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Because I'm sure parents, even when you're going through this, everyone's had experiences with working with your kids. With any tips for parents with helping kids with time management or strategies?
I think our kids are so good with time management because when you're a dancer, you have to, I remember picking up our kids. I would pack their lunches, and sometimes, like on Mondays, I would pick your kids up. They would eat in the car, do their homework in the car, and they would try to do their homework as quickly as possible because they dance till 10 o'clock at night. I
They
think
definitely learned time management.
at such a
I
young
don't know
age.
how they did it.
I don't either.
With all the schoolwork and
And
going
shower.
to school full time. But yeah, it was like, when did they shower? It was like
Sometimes not for days.
But kids follow your lead. Like they follow our lead when if we get up, say, look, we've got this today. We've got, an appointment at 10. You've got to be at school. You got to do this. They get it done. Like
yeah, they know what they
if
have
you-
to do. That's what's
they
good
learn
with
by
activities
watching.
and stuff, though.
Yes.
Even if it's not dance, you learn to, just like we were talking to Brooke about meeting us for lunch, and she's like, I got to look at my schedule
Yes.
and see, what time. A lot of people don't do that, but I think because
They learned
they
it from
had
such
to at such a young age. That
Yeah.
they,
And Maddie, I texted her today at 6:30. I'm like, are you up? She goes, Mom. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry. I was just making sure because I'm still,
You're still a mom.
but
yeah.
One of the things I would tell my students was that sometimes it was hard getting them started, even my kids too. Like if it's getting started with homework, like it's just like seems like so much work. And how do you get started? And I'm like, you know what? Just chunk it. Like 10 minutes, like set a timer for 10 minutes and take away your phone for 10 minutes. Do nonstop work. And then when that's done, take a break for 5 minutes or so, stretch, get something to drink. Because what I would find is that sometimes they're like, oh, I worked on this for half an hour. I'm like, you did not sit down there for a half an hour and work on something and get like one problem done. You got up, you sharpened your pencil, you took a lap around, looked at your phone for a second. Oh, then you got hungry. Like, no, but if you
Yeah.
really chunk it and give
So
specific
when
time.
you say chunk it, what does that mean? Like shorten it, like 10 minutes, nothing
take 10
else.
minutes and be
do it.
totally
Oh, I
focused on
love
it.
that, Holly.
That's it.
I need to do that.
That's it.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes doesn't sound like that much, but if you give 10 minutes of undivided attention, you can get,
Get
a lot done.
Yeah,
You can get a
definitely.
lot done.
If you're focused.
If you're focused, you can get a lot done. And then sometimes if you get more used to that, you can increase it to 15 minutes or 20. But really, you don't need more than 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
But it's a good just to train your brain to do that. But so often you don't really.
So when,
I don't
when
know,
my
Holly. I
laundry's
need you to
piled
coach
up-
me.
Yeah,
I have a
Mom.
hard time with 10 minutes.
I'm going to chunk it when my laundry's all piled
Chunk it,
up.
baby. 10 minutes.
My attention
Put the
span's
phone
maybe
down.
3 minutes.
Mom fail.
Melissa was telling us in the car on the way over. Okay, tell
Okay.
your mom fail.
So Nia texts me and she goes, hey, Melissa, I'm coming tomorrow. This was like a few weeks ago. Can I come pick up my keys? And I was like, oh, of course, honey. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So during the pandemic, Nia's car had to go back. Her lease had to go back. So she was in Pittsburgh. I was in California. So I picked up her car. They overnighted me the keys. So I dropped off her car. I unloaded her car, put it back, all the stuff. It was like umbrellas. And I mean, it was a lot of stuff. So I put everything in the schoolroom
How
and I
many
said,
umbrellas does one child need?
4. And, so I said to
That's
Greg,
Holly.
She likes to stay
She
dry.
got that from Holly. Your bag of
oh yeah, it's definitely, she's Holly's kid. So I said to Greg, I said, please remind me I'm putting Nia's stuff in the schoolroom. So I called them at midnight that night. I was
Notice
so
how she's blaming Greg. Okay, go ahead.
So I was panicked. The girls were like, Mom, let it go. It's Holly. I'm like, Nia, I lost your keys. I can't find them anywhere in the house. She goes, it's no problem. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't sleep all night. I tore
Okay,
apart my heart.
fail. Don't call Melissa to return your car. She loses the keys.
So the next morning I went to her apartment and they just said, no problem. I mean, they didn't even ask me for ID, which was kind of crazy. They gave me a new fob
that's
for her.
scary.
That was also
Well, I think
Look at that, Holly.
they must have knew who I was, but I don't know. But I don't know. She was really sweet. So I went and got the key for her, had to pay $80, and I was so upset. I mean, I was beyond upset. So the other day I went in the schoolroom. I'm like,
You found the keys.
Nia, I found your key. I was so proud of myself. I FaceTimed her. I'm like, Nia, guess what? I found your keys. I found your bag. I found everything. I'm
You
so
found them
excited.
and you weren't even looking for them, right?
That was my mom.
And the thing is, she was so worried about this as a mom, because as moms, I think we try to be perfect with things.
Yes.
And I'm like, Melissa, I trust you so much. I'm not even worried about it because I know those keys are going to show up. I'm like, you are beating yourself up for no
I didn't sleep all night.
reason. And I knew you were like, well, I kept trying to tell you, like, relax, it's okay. And I was like, it's going to turn up.
And sure enough,
And sure enough, it did. It's because
They
you're
turned
so
I
organized.
am. I'm so organized with stuff.
I'm like, it's going to be someplace.
Sometimes you can be too organized. See, you put
Yeah.
things so you don't know where they are.
but wait,
You should
listen.
be like me and just like leave it lay around, and then you know where it's at. You can
It's
find
your
it.
age. You're organized, but we forget shit.
we forget. I always
That is
forget
true.
stuff all the
That's
time.
You
true.
put them someplace really special. You just forgot. And then blamed Greg.
I love that we got back together.
I know. It's so good to see everybody. It's been so long.
I know.
I mean, it's
this
so
is fun.
it is really strange how comfortable we are with each other. And last night, Brooke came over. Maddie pierced Brooke's ear,
for the 100th time.
and she
Ridiculous.
did Nia's a couple of months ago. And
funny.
it's just really nice to be able to be together. And we're going to be together a lot.
I know
ladies.
we're going to get to do this every week.
This is really
So
exciting.
exciting.
I will say I've not been out of my house or forget a plane. I would get on a plane in a heartbeat, but I have not done anything since the pandemic because it really shut me down as well
Yeah.
psychologically. I'm like, I can't leave. I got to stay home. But I will say, you three ladies got me out of the house, got me on a plane to be here today. So that was huge for me. I mean, I can't say I would do that for everyone, but I would do it for the three of you. So that is really huge.
I feel special.
Heart just grew this
And we're so
big.
glad this wouldn't you have to be here, Holly. My gosh.
It's special. I mean, to be able, we could have tried to do it remotely, but it's something really special for all of us to be together and to look into your eyes and to talk and to share stories and just feed off that energy. And it's reaffirming to me. It gives me hope with everything with the pandemic going on, that you just kind of lose sight of that because you become so isolated. Even though I'm with my family, I still feel very isolated from the rest of the world. And to have this human connection like this is really pretty awesome.
And I'm so excited for Kelly because I've been
agree.
so worried about her. Like, I mean,
Worried about me.
Well, because I just want you to be with us. Like, I like that you're with us. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you need to get with
Yeah.
us and adults and not be by yourself. I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard to be
It is.
isolated. And
It
so
is.
that's why you're staying with me and
Did
I'm so
Melissa
happy.
just tell you to get with it?
I just want you to be with me.
Well, thank you for joining us, all of our listeners out there. We really hope that you tune in
You can listen to our podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts.
So you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Because Mom Said So 4. You can also send fan questions to our email account, Because Mom Said So 4 at gmail.com.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestions for topics, for future topics too.
We really hope that you continue to listen to us because I'm a mom and because Mom said so.
I hope you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that like button down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and let me know in the comments below what else you would like to see. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.